Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with another topic, that is accounting or a science or an art. Now we have already seen the limitations of accounting. Now we need to understand that is accounting a science or an art? Why? Because as you know, science are always based on the principles. Science are always based on the rules and regulations, and so science is based on the rules and principles. These rules and principles are universally accepted. Accounting is also a science. Its formation is based on the rules and universally accepted principles prepared by the human beings. To record the economic transactions of the business, they are classified on the basis of accounting rules. Yes, so if you want to record such a transaction into the business, into the account, you need to have a specific rules. For example, the debit and the credit rules. So that is a part of science. So you are following the rules and regulations. So accounting is called as an science. Why? Because you are bound to follow the rules and regulations of the accounts, right? Of maintaining the accounts, you are supposed to follow it. Then, to record the economic transaction of the business on the basis of accounting rules, to record transactions as an individual is not required. Only rules are to be followed. When accounts are prepared by different persons, the process of preparation of accounts and results would remain the same. Thus, due to rules and principles, accounting is known as a science. So, due to certain rules and regulations of the principles, it is known as science. Apart from science, accounting is known as art also. Why? Why it is known as art? Account is mainly categorized into three categories as financial accounting, cost accounting and management accounting. See now, my dear students, here it is given that accounting is also known as art. Art means something creativity, something to manage it in a very specific manner, right? Now your all accounts also are to be categorized. It has also been divided into the three categories. That means it has also been created in such a manner to maintain the accounts very much clearly, to maintain the accounts very much you can maintain it in a very good manner, so that if you want to search some of the accounts directly, you can go to that data and search it. So the three categories are there in the accounting, that is financial accounting, cost accounting and management accounting. Keeping the limitations of this accounting in mind, a specific skill to prepare account is also required. The presentation of anything in a different manner without changing its nature and meaning is known as an art. Yes, so financial transactions, the cost transactions and the management transaction related to the firm, the cost related to the firm, everything are to be recorded in the management accounting. So this everything, the finance related home loan or whatever the things, the financial accounting is being recorded over there. And so different types of accounts are to be prepared, and any presentation, if you are doing it for any of the account of any of the three categories of the account, and if you are presenting it in a very systematic manner, that is known as an art, right? Now comes the qualitative characteristics of accounting information. We'll just see the qualitative characteristics. The first, that is reliability. The first qualitative feature of accounting is reliability. The users of information believe that prepared information represent real picture. The task of information prepare is to sustain for the users. The prepared information has to completely errorless. There should be an incursion of opinion of an accountant or any other party. If rules and regulations are fully followed, the prepared information would automatically decide trustworthy presentation. Under the head of reliability, trustworthy presentation, neutrality and full disclosures are included as sub characteristics. That means this is the very first quality feature of accounting, and if rules and principles are followed, then automatically it will disclose all the trustworthy of the presentation, right? If you have recorded it in a very perfect manner, that means all the debit and credit entries are perfect, then the accounts will be errorless. They will not be having any error, neither there will come any difference. Why? Because you have already posted that account in a very perfect manner. So we can be reliable that no, this account is perfect, and so we not need to worry about it, because the accounting information what is given over here, it's completely errorless, right? And so you have already done as per the rules and regulations of the account. The second is relevance. Relevant information is that information which meets the needs of users and is competent enough to meet the need of the users of information. Relevance is that kind of characteristics which assists users to take decision based on this information. The information prepared or presented by the account has to be of such kind on the basis of which investor can decide it, whether his past decisions were appropriate or not, whether his present decisions are appropriate or not, whether his future decisions will be appropriate or not. This every time comes in our mind that it will be properly or not, it will be relevant or not, whether it is true or whether it is wrong. That means information, this type of information meets the needs of the users and is very much competent to meet the needs of the information. Based on that, the presentation can also take the proper decision of investment for any investment is necessary. That means if you want to do any such investments, proper decisions can be taken. Why? Such type of decisions can be taken because you need to have a complete information for that. For if you want to buy such a land or a building, that means if you are doing such investment over it, you need to have first complete information, whether it is a title clear land, whether all the authorities, whether it is a loanable, everything, each and every information you have to gain it, and then only you can move forward to the next step of buying it, right? And then the certain decisions are to be taken by the users, and for that relevant accountant can be appendix can be used by the accountant. Certain things, certain clauses can be used by the accountant. So we can say that the presented information should be useful in the context of it can be useful in the context of present, future and the past. That all the three tenses in the past also, in the present also, and in the future also, it should meet all the needs of the information. Then comes understandability. In addition to relevance, the presented information should be of that kind which can be easily understood and interpreted by the information users. Understandability means provided information should have a clear meaning. That you have to understand that this, and if you are not understanding what this proper statements means to say, then there is no use of going further towards it. That if you cannot understand the statement, you cannot go forward for the investments, right? So the first thing, the foremost, that is you should have a clear meaning, and at the same time preliminary knowledge of business activities and accounting is expected from the users of information. Accounting has its own terminology, rules and principles. In information user is not acquainted with this, he will not be able to understand the presented information easily. In brief, information presented in accounts should have a quality of understandability. The users should have a knowledge of expected context. So basically the users are there, he should be very much kind enough, he should be easily he should be having understood and interpreted the information users. Here information should have a very clear meaning. Whatever you are presenting, the facts and the evidence, or whatever you are presenting the statements of the final accounts, that should be very much clear. It should not have any disruptions in the statement. So basically it should be provided and it should be of clear meaning. Comparability. Another qualitative characteristics of accounting is comparability. Accounting information should be prepared and presented in such a manner where user can undertake comparison of profitability and economic solvency of two periods. Due to quality of comparability, users can take decisions by undertaking the comparison of results of the two different periods. In case of company accounts, it includes the information previous year and current year of income statement, balance sheet and cash flow statement. Here the comparison of accounting information of two different periods is made. So definitely the comparison, you can compare of the different firms, or you can compare of your own firms of the last or the past few years. How much was the profit of the last year and what will be the profit of this year? If a business person does the comparability mode of this year, definitely it will be much lesser than the past year, because the past there was no any of the crisis, but this year as we are facing to this global pandemic, definitely the business has attain a huge amount of loss. So there will be low amount of profit, maybe it can be loss also. Some businesses are suffering a huge heavy loss. So this comparability can be made among it. So the fully correct and useful information is equal to reliability plus relevance plus understanding and plus comparability. This is asked sometimes in the examination, so students learn it. The qualitative characteristics of accounting are there, and it is very important, can be asked in the examination. It is presented over here in the figures. My dear students, you can just have a look over here for the qualitative characteristics of the useful financial information. What we have studied earlier in the textbook, just presented over here. So if you want to understand it, you can write the main points and then you can elaborate yourself. That is relevant to the needs of users to assist in evaluating performance. That means the performance, whether it is relevant or not, that is the main meaning of the relevant. The second, that is reliable, can be relied upon, free from the material error. It can be neutral, it is complete, and it is prudent. That is everything. The clear meaning should be there, no other errors should be there, and if that totally should be reliable, so that information can be easily pertained over it. Comparable with other businesses, I told you that it can be comparable with other business also, it can be compared, and with the other previous period results. That means of the last year, it can also be compared with it. So it becomes very much easy for you to compare the results between the last year or the previous periods or the time periods, or we usually compare it with the last periods or with the other business things also. So that will also be possible for it. Then it's understandable, must be presented so it is understandable to the users. This is the first basic meaning. That means it should be very much, and the meaning should be clear and you can easily understand it, right? I told you that clear meaning should be presented over it. The information what the users want from you, that should be very much clear and understandable, so that if whether they want to invest in such in land on building, the proper information they can obtain it from the builders. So that is one of the basic characteristics. These 4 characteristics are there. You can just have a look over it, and then if you want to write it, you can also write it over it, right? You can also present this when you present the examination. You can also present this like that. It will be good for a presentation of the paper.